Hi everyone and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope you're having a great day. Although it is extremely rare that people convert to Islam, I see that when people convert to Islam, they are ignorant of certain topics within Islam. And after they are inside of Islam and they learn about these things, they don't really want to reconsider Islam. They want to justify the new things that they learn and solidify their faith, regardless of their doubts and regardless of their moral disagreements. I think if you truly want to understand a religion and convert to this new religion, or even forget about converting to a new religion, if you were born with it, then I think it is important to learn about some crucial things, about some controversial things within that religion. Therefore, I want to present some questions. I think it would be beneficial for such Muslims, for such people to be confronted with these questions and try to answer them to themselves or to me, to us. Let us start right away. Question number 1. What do you think about the Quran's order in chapter 4, verse 34 to beat women if they are arrogant? And what do you think about the fact that the Quran clearly describes society as a society where a man is the authority over women, and women have to obey men, which is why men can beat women? Does that sound good? Does that sound great? Can somebody who is outside of Islam or who was just outside of Islam really look at this and justify this and be like, yeah, I don't see a problem with that at all? Second question, what do you think about the fact that Muhammad said that women are deficient in intelligence? So basically, women are dumb, which is why they will more often find themselves in hell. We know that there is no significant difference between the intelligence of a man and a woman. We can scientifically explain this nowadays. Question number 3 is, especially for those who have just converted to Islam and who know a lot of people who are not Muslims, what do you think about the Quran's statement mentioned twice that those who do not believe in Islam are the worst of creatures? Do you think that people who reject Islam are really the worst of creatures? Worse than cattle? If your parents are not Muslims, what about your parents, for example? Question 4, what do you think about slavery? I'm not talking about slavery in the past. What I'm talking about is timeless, contemporary, and possibly future slavery. The Quran basically justifies and rationalizes slavery. Muhammad kept slaves, traded slaves, and never intended to end slavery, which is why many Muslim apologists nowadays still believe that slavery should be or could be brought back. Looking at history, searching yourself, what do you really think about enslaving people? Speaking of it, what do you think about sex slavery? Muhammad himself had female slaves. Muhammad allowed the holding of female slaves and the engaging in sexual relationships with these slaves. The Quran itself authorizes people to have sex with their female slaves. What exactly do you think about that? What do you say about this? Question 6, what do you think about jinns? I just want to lighten the mood here. But it is very common, it is the norm in Muslim society to believe that there are jinns roaming the night and these creatures that live in a parallel world together with us. And they actually snatch things and bother people and can even assault people, and they are responsible for things disappearing, which of course makes no sense. Such proof will never come forth. But do you think that the world is indeed populated by these creatures known as the jinns? Do you think that makes any sense? Question number 7 is, Muhammad is supposed to be the most perfect human to ever walk the face of the earth. He is an example to all humankind, chosen and presented to us by the Almighty Allah. Islam does not only mean to believe in Allah, but also to believe in Muhammad and to agree with him and obey him. So what do you think about the fact that Muhammad had over 11 wives, as far as we know? A number of wives that exceeds the number of wives which average Muslims are allowed, which is 4. A number of wives that he did not need. Number 8, speaking of wives, what do you think about the undoubted fact that according to the most authentic reports of Muhammad, Muhammad married a child when she was 6 and had sexual intercourse with her, consummated the marriage with her when she was only 9 years old? The timeless, most perfect human to ever walk the face of the earth, for absolutely no reason, marrying a 9-year-old girl. Picture a 9-year-old girl. What do you think about that? Number 9. What do you think about killing gay people? You might think whatever you want about homosexuality and about gay people, but what do you, especially people in the West, what do you think about the cruelty of executing people who engage in homosexual relationships? Because that is not just something that was ordered in the past, it is something that was directly prescribed in Muhammad's words, which the Islamic world still believes in. Moving on to 10, what do you think about killing apostates? It is very clear that people who leave Islam are supposed to be executed simply for leaving Islam and making that public, simply for no longer believing in this faith. Just as you left your religion behind, or left your whatever state it is behind, and converted to Islam, what do you think about the fact that Islam orders the killing of you if you decide to leave Islam, or of me, someone who has left Islam because he simply couldn't believe anymore? Question number 11 concerns Jews and Christians. The Quran commands not to befriend the Jews and Christians, even if they are your parents and your siblings and people that you know. That if you befriend them, you are one of them. It orders to fight and to subdue Jews and Christians. Allah insults and curses them, Muhammad curses them. What do you think about the constant hate? Number 12, I think, is very significant. I grew up with the belief that in the future, maybe in the near future, we Muslims will mobilize, we will gather, and we will start fighting for Allah, and we will possibly fight the Jews. And even the rocks and trees will be ratting them out. But a certain tree known as the Gargot tree will not, because that tree is the tree of the Jews. I grew up with this very messed up idea, and it really messes you up a little bit. It's quite dark. Do you want to raise your children with that? What do you think about the word kafir? The Quran constantly refers to people who do not believe in Islam or who disbelieve in Islam, implying that they are people who deny the truth of Islam, people who know that Allah and Islam is true, but they willfully deny it. That's why they are called kafir, denier. If your parents are Christians, for example, or are generic non-Muslims, do you really believe that your parents are people who are liars, who are sick and disturbed, and they lie and they deny the truth? They hide the truth, which is why they deserve all the condemnation, and you deserve all the praise. Number 14, do you believe that Allah guides and misguides people, and that He guided you because you so desperately wanted to know the truth, but that He misguides other people, like me, who also desperately wanted to know the truth? Because that is what the Quran describes. And it describes us as sick, deaf, dumb, and blind. Do you believe that people who do not believe are deaf, dumb, and blind, and sick, and that you are very special? Number 15, I don't believe that people who believe in a religion should present their proof, but the Quran challenges other people, the polytheist pagans, to present their proof that their gods are real. Do you agree with the Quran? And if so, where's your proof? Do you have proof that it is Allah and Islam which is responsible for everything? Can you please, in accordance with the Quran's challenge, show us that proof? Number 16, what do you think about the Kaaba? What do you think about the fact that no other religion is connected to the Kaaba? Abrahamic religions, Jews and Christians, have no connection to the Kaaba, give it no importance, have no place for it in its scriptures, and didn't even know about it until Islam came forth, despite the fact that Islam claims that the same God who sent Abraham and all the prophets and the books is responsible for the creation of the Kaaba. Although we have no historical records of the existence of the Kaaba until after Islam, do you believe that the Kaaba is indeed this extremely important place and building on earth which all humanity is supposed to be bound to? Speaking of the Kaaba, at the corner of the Kaaba there is a black stone which Muhammad revered, which pre-Islamic polytheists also revered and used for their worship. Do you think it makes sense that Islam is a monotheistic religion? There is a creator of the universe who wants you to worship him, but he also wants you to go to this black stone and to touch it and kiss it and revere it for some strange reason, which clearly looks like a pagan practice. Or do you think there is something strange about that? Number 18. Do you believe that one day the sun will rise from the west? This is actually something that Muslims all over the world believe in. They believe that one day the sun will rise from the west, and then the world will be ending. That is considered the greatest or one of the greatest signs of Judgment Day. That is because Muhammad described that the sun goes somewhere at night. It goes to prostrate itself under the throne of Allah, and it asks for permission to rise again, which is why in the morning it rises from the east. And one day it will not be given permission, and then it will rise from the west, where it went at night. And then Judgment Day will happen. Do you believe that, or do you think that is, from our perspective today, completely ignorant, primitive, scientifically wrong thinking from the 7th century? Number 19, another science point. Do you believe that the sky is a solid building, a ceiling? That we are on a spread bed and that the sky is a ceiling above us, which Allah holds up with invisible pillars so that it doesn't fall down on us, and that if the sky fell down on us, we would all die? Because although the sky is clearly not an object, despite what people thought in a 7th century desert, that is exactly what the Quran describes over and over again. What do you think about that? I don't think one has to be a scientific genius to answer this question. And finally, number 20, you are supposed to trust Muhammad and supposed to trust that he is telling you the truth. But all we know from Islamic sources is that Muhammad was a 7th century guy who supposedly communicated with an invisible angel, and that this angel brought him revelations from the Almighty Creator, whose name is Allah, in Arabia. Muhammad then revealed those words that he got from his invisible angel friend to the people in his surroundings, which is how the Quran came into existence and was compiled as a book after Muhammad died. Do you trust all that? If you trust all that, do you really want to trust Muhammad despite everything that we know about him? I think it is very important to answer these questions if you want to believe in Islam, if you want to defend Islam, and so on. I don't demand any responses. You can give the responses to yourself. Thanks for watching. I will be back. Have a fantastic day and stay away from Islam.